Hi everyone, I'm so excited to have you here, and today we're going to do something special. We're going to do a Bonnie Bear Crochet Along, and if you haven't met Bonnie yet, she's the adorable crocheted star of my storybook, Bonnie Bear and the Grand Starlight Tree. So this storybook is really special to me. It's actually my very first storybook, and Bonnie Bear was the inspiration behind it all. So Bonnie's just the beginning of what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to do a whole series of Yarnwood Forest Animal storybooks. Oh, and just so you know, Bonnie Bear's crochet pattern is right in the back of the storybook. And I really want to thank everyone for supporting me on this new journey. It means so much to me, and I'm so excited to finally share my book with you. So to grab your copy, just check out the link in my description box. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. In my previous video, I talked about all of the materials you're going to need to make Bonnie. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, I will leave a link. And in this video, we'll just be making Bonnie's body and placing her eyes into her body. So for this video, you're going to need some cafe latte yarn, some yarn scissors, an H crochet hook or a 5mm hook, some 25mm safety eyes, and make sure you have the backs to those. You're going to need a lot of polyfill fiber stuffing. And if you find the stick inside the stuffing, you can keep that as well because that can help us. You're going to need a stitch marker and a yarn needle. I forgot to add in the hot glue gun in the original video, so make sure to get your hot glue gun with the sticks, and this is just optional, but it does help glue in the eyes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is chain 9, so make sure to prepare your slip knot first. Insert your hook. Okay, so chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now we're going to place 2 single crochets into the second chain from the hook. So we're going to locate our second chain. So 1, 2, there's our second chain, and we're going to place 2 single crochets into that chain. So we're going to go 1 single crochet and 2. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and place a single crochet into the next 6 chains. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to place 2 single crochets into that very last chain. So go 1 and 2 into the very last chain. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this around and work on the opposite side of the chain. So this is the side we've been working on, and now we're going to turn it around and work on the opposite side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place 2 single crochets into that very first chain on the opposite side. So locate that chain. It doesn't matter really if you work into this hole right here or if you work into the actual chain. So either way you want to go. I'm going to go ahead and just work into the chain. So I'm going to place 2 single crochets into that chain. 1, 2. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 6 chains. So again, you can go into that hole or you can kind of just go into that chain. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now we're going to place 2 single crochets into the last chain. So locate that last chain and place 2 single crochets. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, so that's how it should look so far. Now, okay, first of all, there should be 20 single crochets. So go ahead and make sure there's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so I have 20. Place the stitch marker in to that very last single crochet. Okay? So for round 2, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the first stitch. So place 2 single crochets into that first stitch. So 1, 2, make sure to go into both loops. 2. We're going to now place a single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So make sure to go under both loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So locate your next 2 stitches, and there will be 2 single crochets into those stitches. So we're going to go 1, 2 into the same stitch, and then 1, 2 into the next stitch. Okay, so I'm going to pull out some of my yarn. Okay. Okay, now we're going to single crochet, and again we're just going in a circle, into the next 8 stitches. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're coming up to our very last stitch where our stitch marker is, and in that one we're going to place 2 single crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker out, and I'm going to place the 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, and then I'll put my stitch marker back into that very last stitch, that very last single crochet. Okay, now we're on to round 3. So round 3, again, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the first stitch. Okay, so locate your first stitch. We're going to place 2 single crochets. So go 1, 2, into the same stitch. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 10 stitches. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now in the next 2 single crochets into the next stitches, 2 stitches, we're going to place 2 single crochets into each one. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2 into the next stitch, and then we're going to do it again. 1, 2 into the next stitch. Okay, so 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, pull out your stitch marker, and we're going to place 2 single crochets into that last stitch. So 1 and 2. Okay, and then go ahead and replace your stitch marker. Okay, so round 4. Again, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the first stitch. So locate your first stitch and place 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And now we're going to go ahead and place 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, now we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So it's kind of just the same pattern so far. So these next 2 stitches, we're going to place 2 single crochets. So there's 1, 2. We're going to do the same in the next. 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 12. Locate that next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that will take you right up to your stitch marker stitch. So pull that out, and we're going to place 2 single crochets into that last stitch. So 1 and 2 into the same stitch. Now go ahead and replace the stitch marker. And that brings us up to round 5. So in this last row you should have 32 single crochets. So if you need to go back and count that, go ahead and do that now. And we're moving on to round 5. Okay? And I feel pretty good because all of my stitches are working out perfectly, so the stitch count should be correct. You'll know if it's not. Okay. Alright, so for round 5, we're going to go ahead and place 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So this one's going to be a little different. So these next 2 stitches, we're going to place 2 single crochets. So this is round 5. So we're going to go 1, 2 into the same stitch, and then 2 into the next stitch. 1 and 2 into the next stitch. Okay. So now we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so now we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next 4 stitches. So these next 4 stitches we're going to place 2 single crochets. So go 1, 2 into the first stitch, 1, 2 into the second. My yarn's getting a little bit caught there. Okay, and then to the third we're going to go 1, 2, and then into the fourth we're going to do another 2. So 1 and 2. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and place 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches. Now if it starts to curve a little bit, that's fine, that's normal. So let's go 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so now in the next 2 stitches, we're going to place 2 single crochets. So 2 will go into this one. 1, 2, and then take out your stitch marker, and in the last stitch we'll place 2. So 1 and 2. Okay, make sure to put your stitch marker back in. Now for round 5 you should have 40 single crochets around. So if you're not confident yet, go ahead and make sure that you have 40, okay? Let's pull out my yarn again. Okay, and that was round 5. Okay, so round 6, we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Okay, so round 6 is going to be a little different. So place 2 into the next stitch. And now we're going to place 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So we've had 2 into this stitch, and now we're going to do 1 into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. So into this next stitch there'll be 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, and then we're doing 3, which is the single crochet. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 2 into the next one. So we're just repeating the pattern. 2, and then we'll do 3. So if this is too repetitive for you, you can go ahead and fast forward this part or pause it and just continue on. Or you can continue to follow along. Say 2 into the next one. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 1 into 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 into the next stitch. 1, 2. 1 into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 2 into the next one, 1, 2, and then 1 into the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll be quiet while I do the rest because I know it's getting repetitive. So 2, and then 3, and if I'm going too fast for you, just stop the video, make sure to follow along with the pattern, and then catch up with me on the next row. Or just pause the video. Make sure to pause the video. I'm trying to look and see where I ended up here. 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need to do 3. And then 2. And then you should end on the 3. So 1, 2, and go ahead and take the stitch marker out and place the 3rd. Okay, so for round 6 we should have 50 all together. Now everything's working out for me just fine, so I am trusting that I have 50. If you don't trust it, make sure to go back and count, okay? And you can always add a stitch or 2 into it if you need to. Okay, so for round 7 we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and follow that pattern all the way around. So in the first stitch we're going to go 1, 2, And now we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 into the next, 1, 2, and then 1 into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 into the next, 1, 2, and then 1 into the next 4. Now I won't keep repeating this. What I'll do is just continue to crochet and continue to follow this pattern, and then I'll meet you back here for round 8. Okay, so now we're on round 8, and we're going to place 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and we're going to follow that pattern all the way around. So right here we're going to want to widen them up quite a bit. So in the next stitch we're going to place 2. So 1, 2, and then the next 2 stitches we'll place 1. So 1 and 2. I know that gets a little confusing. So on the next stitch, place 2 into the 1 stitch. So 1, 2, so make it a double. And then place 1 stitch into the next 2 stitches. So go ahead and follow that pattern all the way around. And I'm just going to be silent and crochet. And when you get finished, make sure you have 80 single crochets all together. Okay, I'm trying to look at where I left off. So 2 into 1, and then 1 into 2. Okay, so round 9 is going to be a little different. We're going to place 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So locate your next 2 stitches, and we're going to place 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, then place 2 into the next one. 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So locate that next one, and the stitches are a little closer together, so be careful and make sure you really see those stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're going to place 2 more single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So locate those next 2 stitches and place 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, and then 2 in the next one. 1, 2. Pull out my yarn here. Okay, now we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 32 stitches. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. Okay, so now in the next 2 stitches we're going to place 2 single crochets. So locate your next 2 stitches and we're going to place 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now we're going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to place 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So locate your next 2. We're going to place 2 into each one. So 1, 2 into one, and then 2 into the next. 1, 2. Then we're going to finish up by crocheting into the next 32 stitches, into the last 32 stitches, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and then 32 should end right where your stitch marker is, 32. Okay, so you should have a total of 88 stitches all the way around. Now, the circle isn't going to be perfect. It's just kind of, it kind of bends, but that's okay. Let's see here. So now, so you're going to have 88 stitches all the way around, 88 single crochets. And now go ahead and place your stitch marker back into the last stitch. Okay, so for rounds 10 through 36, we're just going to be single crocheting around. Okay, so I'm not going to be here the whole time for that, but I will go ahead and crochet just a little bit. And remember, now all we're going to do is just single crochet all the way around, all the way up until round 36. So just single crochet all the way around. And each row should have 88 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to get up all the way up to round 36, and then I will be back to show you what is next. Okay guys, I just finished round 10s through 36, and now it's time to attach the eyes. So we're going to go ahead and attach the eyes on the 7th round. So go ahead and count up 7. And we're going to do about 15 stitches apart. Make sure your eye is fairly close to the edge. You don't want them too close together. And go ahead and insert your eye on round 7. And I like my eyes to be about 3 inches apart. It's not a perfect 3 inches, but it's about. So if you have a measuring tape, you can measure your eyes as well. Okay, now is the time to grab the back of your eyes and to break out the hot glue gun. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the back to my eye, and I'll show you how I use my hot glue to make sure this is really secure. So grab your hot glue gun and add the hot glue just to the back of the eye, if that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and do the second eye. Attach the back onto the safety eye. And then grab your hot glue gun and just add the hot glue onto the safety eye around that attachment. And then just make sure the glue dries before moving on to the next step. Okay, so now that the glue has dried, we're going to go ahead and move on to round 37. So make sure your stitch marker's in the correct place. Okay, so for round 37, we're going to single crochet into the next 9 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet 2 together, or do a decrease, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let's go 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to single crochet 2 together. So insert your hook, yarn over, bring through the stitch, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, and then pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to decrease or single crochet 2 together. They're both the same thing. Perfect. Then let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then decrease. Okay, I'll let you finish that row off on your own, and I will meet you back here for round 38. Okay, so for round 37, just make sure you have 80 single crochets all the way around, and for round 38, we're going to single crochet into the next 8 stitches and then do a decrease. Okay, we're going to repeat that 8 times. So let's go ahead and do our 8 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to do a single crochet decrease. And then we'll do 8 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we do a decrease. Okay, so 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we do a decrease. And I will go ahead and continue doing this, and I'll meet you back here for round 39. So go ahead and just pause the video, finish up, and I'll meet you for round 39. Okay guys, so we're on round 39. The last row you should have ended in 72 single crochets. In this row, we're going to do 7 single crochets, and then we're going to decrease. We're going to repeat that 8 times for a total of 64 single crochets. So, okay, so go ahead and start on round 39, and we're going to do 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to decrease. then we're going to go ahead and do 7 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to do another decrease. Okay, now go ahead and do 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then do your decrease. And again, go ahead and pause your video, finish up this round, and I will meet you back here for round 40. Okay, so we should be on round 40 now. We're going to do 6 single crochets, and then we're going to decrease. We're going to repeat that 8 times for a total of 56 single crochets. So let's go ahead and do our 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to single crochet 2 together, or decrease, whatever you want to call it. Then we'll do 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then decrease. Okay, then we'll do 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then decrease. And then again, pause the video, finish up this round, and I will meet you back here for round 41. Okay, so now we're on round 41. We're going to place 5 single crochets. We're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches, and then we're going to decrease. We're going to do that 8 times for a total of 48 single crochets. Okay, so again, we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease. Okay, go ahead and continue on with your stitches, and I will meet you back here for the next round. Okay, so now we're on round 42. We're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches and then a decrease. Repeat this 8 times for a total of 40 single crochet. Okay, so again, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. I'm going to do 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. And 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. Now continue doing that all the way around. Make sure you have a total of 40 stitches when you're done, and I'll meet you back here for the next round. Okay, so now we're on round 43, and as you can tell, we've been following a pattern around to close it up. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to change it up a little bit, And we're going to single crochet into the next 8 stitches and then decrease, and repeat this 4 times for a total of 36 single crochets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to decrease. Then we'll do 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then decrease. Okay, I'll let you guys finish this round so it doesn't get too repetitive for you, and then go ahead and pause the video and I'll meet you back here for the next round. Okay, so after round 43, we're going to start to fill the body up with stuffing, and we're going to want to use quite a bit of stuffing, okay? Now, if you do overfill him, or her, I'm sorry, if you do overfill her, she will become more round rather than like a flat oval. So just kind of be careful with that, but you are going to want to fill them up a lot, like a lot more than you think. So the only reason we don't want to overfill is because then we'll get a really round animal rather than an oval animal. Which that's fine too if that's what you like. Now the important thing is to really stuff around the head right here, because that's what's going to open up and keep this nice and full. There's going to be a lot more stuffing than you think, because stuffing, I don't know, it kind of shrinks up after you put it in the body. At least that's what it seems like. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do for now. I don't want it to be too tight. And again, it's starting to kind of look round, but eventually we're going to squish that. We're going to squish that in, okay? But that should be good for now. So let's go ahead and move on to round 44. We're going to go ahead and do 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches and then decrease. Repeat it 4 times for a total of 32 single crochets. Okay. So again, we're going to go 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to decrease. And we'll do 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then decrease. And then go ahead and pause the video, finish up this round, and I'll meet you back for the next one. Okay guys, now we're on round 45. We're going to go ahead and place 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches, then decrease. Repeat this 4 times for a total of 28 single crochets. Okay, so 1 single crochet into the next 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then decrease. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then decrease. And again, pause the video and I'll meet you back here for what's next. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill him up with some more stuffing. I can tell that he's still a bit squishy. If they're really squishy and not really full, then I would fill them up more, okay? So let's go ahead and fill them up some more. And you can put quite a bit of stuffing in here without overfilling. So really push it down, especially into the head, so that way you get that nice firm head, okay? And honestly, if it does become rounded, we can squish it so that it's more flat. I'd almost rather overfill than underfill, if that makes sense. Okay, so we had these sticks before. What I'll usually do is, if you find these in the stuffing, I will just take them and just kind of help squish it in there. Now it's starting to kind of become more rounded, as you can see, but we can flatten that out. That's the nice thing about stuffing. So I'm going to keep filling them up. I like to really fill them up. Okay, I'm feeling like he's getting there, she's getting there, I should say. And do a little bit more. So in my book I do say to avoid overfilling, but really that's hard to do with stuffing because it really can squish down into place on how you want it, and you want these guys to be pretty firm. So I might even do a tiny bit more just to be safe. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good. I might add a little bit more as I go. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to round 46. Okay, so for round 46 we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches and then decrease for a total of 24 single crochets. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's a little bit harder to crochet with the stuffing in the body, but it's worth it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease, and then 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then decrease. And like I said, it might be a little bit harder to crochet with the stuffing, but it will be worth it in the end. Oh, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. You go ahead and pause the video. Meet me back here for the next round. Okay, so you might notice that you're starting to get a few holes in here. That's okay, as long as it's not too big. It shouldn't matter too much, okay? Okay, so in the next one, round 47, we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches and then decrease. Oh, then I forgot to bring my stitch marker up, so let's do that first. Okay, again, we're going to do 4 and then decrease. This will be a total of 20 single crochets when you're finished. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then we're going to decrease. Oh, it's a little bit harder. And then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm doing my decrease. So go ahead and finish your round, and I'll meet you back here for the next round. Okay, so for round 48, we're going to place 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches and then decrease. Repeat this 4 times for a total of 16. Okay, so again, let's place 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to decrease. And then 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to decrease. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to decrease. 1, 2, 3, then decrease. Okay, so round 49, we're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to decrease 4 times for a total of 12 single crochets. So let's place 1 into the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then decrease. 1, 2, then decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, and then decrease. Take that out. Okay, so for this last round, we're just going to do 5 decreases. So that's 1 decrease, 2 decrease, 3 decreases, 4, and then 5. This is our last decrease. Now if you feel like your opening is still too big, you can even decrease it again, and I'll show you. And that way it reduces the holes in the back of the body. So see, I just added another decrease to that just to be safe. Okay, so let's go ahead and fasten this off. Take our scissors. Let's leave a long tail so that we can weave this in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull right through that loop, okay? Okay, so now we're just going to stitch this hole closed. So I just weave back and forth through the stitches. Then we can kind of close it up a little bit as we work, kind of squish them up into the way you want them to look. Again, let's just keep stitching it closed. And then when you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and just cut that off whenever you feel comfortable. Okay, so there's the back, and I feel like it looks pretty good. There's not too many holes. I mean, there's a few, but really it's not bad. Once you squish it, those should go away. Okay, and then we're going to squish them down, and that's how the front should look. Okay, so this is the end of this video. I will meet you back here for the second video, and we're going to work on the snout and the outer ears. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on the next video.